right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on our actual first video production of a single parent superpower podcast. Before it's been all audio. So, and for our first video podcast, I couldn't think of a better guest than my dear friend Ed Garza. He's a branding expert, knows everything about branding yourself using video. He's actually the founder of VodCast HUB, located out of Franklin, Tennessee. So, Ed, thank you so much, first of all, for joining us and talking to my audience and my dear friends who are listening to us now. And please tell us, why did you get into this? What drove you into personal branding and video? Tell us a little bit about your background and who you are and what it is that you do.
Sure, would gladly do that. It's interesting. Like a lot of your listeners, I started off like an amateur. I didn't know what I was doing. I just was in 2008. I was in Houston. I had just buried my mother and had some traumatic things happen to my life in Houston, Texas. And I was living in hotels and just trying to figure out what direction I wanted to go. I had been in traditional marketing prior to that. So I knew marketing was one of my passions. So what I did is I went to a Guitar Center. Everybody knows what a Guitar Center is. It's a music facility. I bought myself a white Rode microphone. And I said, I think I want to do a podcast. Hey, we're on a podcast now, right? So I really couldn't stand the look of seeing myself in a video. So I didn't start off that way. So I just went to a coffee shop that was in Houston in the Midtown area. It was called Coffee Grounds. They were renowned for Twitter, and I knew the manager. They had social media breakfasts going on all the time there. And I said, I'd like to plant myself on one of your tables every single week, and I'd like to interview businesses. And I asked him, do you mind if I do that? I'll promote you and I'll promote on Facebook. He said, sure, it'd be great, Ed. So I did it. My first one was obviously just the Rode microphone and recording audio files. Then after about 3 weeks, somebody said, Ed, you really should consider video. You're really good with your linguistic language, so you really should. I said, okay, fine, I'll do that. So I bought myself a small little webcam on my computer, and I started doing video interviews of businesses. And it started from there, Sam. It was like people started coming, registering. There was times I'd have 15, 20 people in line. I had to bring friends with me to network and hold them back. And then we would interview them, 3 to 4 minutes, post the video for them, hand it to them. They'd post it on Facebook, YouTube, different places. And that's how I got started. There's a story on the back end of that of what happened. We could talk about that later, or you could ask me what happened, but it was incredible what happened, really. We really just, we built a big brand for myself. My name was Mr. Pitchman, so that was pretty much how I launched it. It opened doors for a variety of things for me, from personal branding, and I realized it worked. I really didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't getting paid for it. I just loved interviewing people and talking about their business, and they loved being interviewed. The smiles and the reaction afterwards was incredible. I would get hugs and thank yous. They were just so blessed afterwards. And I got invited to trade shows for free. I got into restaurants for free. I got stopped in the mall, stopped at gas stations for photo ops. It was incredible. I said, what in the world is happening here? I didn't know. Well, what was happening was, I would interview, for example, you, Samantha, and I'd say, hey, about your business. And then obviously you have 1,000, maybe 2,000, or maybe more friends that I don't know. Now you post it on your Facebook or your LinkedIn or YouTube. Now they know who I am. And that's what was happening. And it just went, it's like wildfire. It's like kindling. You just started up and it just went crazy. So needless to say, that happened. And I had a lot of fun. I was at many trade shows interviewing businesses, and just incredible experience. So that was sort of my start to video. And I kind of fell in love with it.
Wow. And so from there, you alluded there was something that happened before that that drove you to that. So why don't you touch on that for a second? And then I want to get to from that, from you being, Mr. Pitchman to becoming this, branding expert and teaching others how to do it. So, but I want to hear that pre-story, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. So, you know, growing up, I there was a couple of real crossroads for me growing up. First of all, I'll go back to when I was a kid. I was taught to be resilient by playing sports. I still remember my dad every Saturday taking a bucket of 100 baseballs and throwing them at me, and I would hit them, and then we would chase them, and then repeat every single Saturday. That led to me really being competitive, and in the category of baseball, I loved playing it. I always batted fourth. People always backed up, and I just had a lot of fun playing baseball. But it taught me a really good lesson in life, really just playing all kinds of sports, from baseball to football to tennis to basketball, pretty much anything with a ball. I played as a youth and went to the YMCA, and it just had a lot of fun. But it really taught me to be resilient, right? And in my mind, even though you struck out or even though you failed, that you could always come back the next time and swing at that bat and swing at that ball, right? So I was trying to make a decision after high school what I wanted to do. Dad really wanted me to go to traditional college like he did at the University of Houston, mechanical engineer, very thought oriented and analytical, right? Son, go to school, get good grades. You should go to a university. I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something different. So to make him feel better, I said, I'll go to summer school at Houston Community College and I'll try out a couple classes. He said, okay, that's fair. So I went to community college that summer.
I went to community college, just so you know, for like 2 weeks.
Yes, that's about what I did. Exactly. Yeah. And, something happened. When I was in high school, I shifted from playing sports because I hurt myself to theater and speech and debate. I lettered in it. I had a lot of fun. I'm a member of the National Forensic League. I can go judge high school debate tournaments and speech tournaments and so forth. So when I went to the Houston Community College, they saw a sign. They had a speech tournament with 7 different competitive topics. I said, what the heck? I'll go for it. I registered for all 7 of them. And I don't know if you know anything about speech tournaments or debate tournaments. Usually it's just you and the competitor, or just you and the judge in the room, nobody else. It's not like before an audience, right? So, it's something like impromptu speaking where you got 30 seconds to come up with a speech about being a piece of gum in 105 degrees in New York City, and you get stepped on and you travel the world, right? So you can pull a topic like that. I still remember that one. And you got to come, I ended up being a travel guide for the most part as a piece of gum. I remember that one very vividly. Yeah. So, fun topics like that, scripture reading, etc. So I enrolled in all 7 anyway. So the day went by, and now they have the award ceremony, right? So you really don't know how you did. So I'm sitting there, and the trophies are literally taller than me. I was probably six foot tall at that time, the first place trophies. And they started calling the winners. And I ended up winning first place in all 7 categories. I couldn't even fit the trophies in my car. I had to make 2 trips. So the light bulb went on at that moment for me that, what, I need to be speaking, I need to be talking, I need to be moving my lips and encouraging people for the rest of my life. So I went into seminary, and the perfect place for that. I was a full-time minister for well over a decade. Had a lot of fun doing it. I'm still a lay minister. I still teach at different times when I have the opportunity to church groups and organizations. But if I stop teaching and sharing and educating, I think part of me will die inside. It's kind of a graphical way to put it, but that's what keeps me motivated. That I know that I could share something that's going to uplift somebody's life, encourage them to move forward, even though they may have struck out. That they could come back, whether it's just going to get a microphone like I did, or it's turning on the camera and recording and sharing their story. And I will say this, your story is worthy. If you're building your personal brand, don't think that your story is not worthy. It is worthy. is worthy to be told. If you don't tell it, then nobody will know it. You don't need to worry about how you sound or how you look. Empathy goes a long way.
Yeah, well, it's a great point because that leads me into, well, a lot of my questions actually, but one is that I know for me, being in front of the camera, it's not natural for me. Like I was always the one behind the camera taking pictures of my kids, and I have a million pictures of my kids, my dogs, but very few of me because and I think a lot of people are kind of the same way. We get a little self conscious, and maybe we don't want to do our hair, we don't want to do our makeup, we don't know what equipment to have, and all the little details, right? And so, especially for women, you men have it really, really easy. You guys pretty much roll out of bed, take a shower or not, and throw on a shirt, and you could go live on camera, right? As women, we feel like we have to do our hair, put on our makeup, and all of the rest of it, right? So, what would your advice be to especially women, and keep in mind my audience are single parents mostly, so they're busy, they have all the responsibility of raising the household on their own, the financial responsibility, the scheduling responsibility, helping with the homework and all the stuff, and then on top of it they're building their network marketing business, and now we're telling them branding, your personal branding is so, so, so important. And we'll get into why that's super important. But you're saying that video in particular is important. So, how do you see a busy parent, a busy single parent, fitting in video, even short videos? How do you see them doing this and how often would you suggest they do it? On a daily basis, weekly basis, keeping in mind who our audience is.
Sure. Well, I would say that stay away, far, far away from perfection.
Done.
That's my one recommendation to anybody. A lot of people, I'll start with this, for example. A lot of people are concerned about their camera that they have, or that their old phone that they have, an Android or an outdated iPhone. It really doesn't matter. Just start with what you have. Secondly, if you're not having a good hair day, it's okay. Because listen, perfection is for broadcast TV. When you do a video online or you're talking to somebody, you really want to talk like you're talking to your ideal client, and just talk from the heart. Remember, it's progress. You don't have to have a microphone like you see Samantha and I have. You could just use your computer audio. You could use the audio on your phone. It does not matter. The point of the matter is you have to make progress. And the one word that means a lot in the video marketing is empathy. Empathy goes a long way. I could tell you some of the videos that we have collected with our cloud-based application that we own, and some of the videos that I see that get produced. Some of them are actually absolutely ridiculous. I mean, seriously, they're just, but let me tell you something, the quality of it, the linguistic language that the person is using, the accent that they have, the clothes that they're wearing. Uh, but keep in mind, when they produce that video, especially if it's a video testimonial or it's something like that, there's a lot of empathy in that video. People believe it. It's not fake, right? I've seen videos like that get more hits, more engagement than some of the videos that are perfect. With somebody that has all the eyeliner on and the lipstick and looks beautiful, supposed to somebody that may have a bad hair day, the clothes that they're wearing are hideous, their background is hideous, you know, they have a horrible accent. Doesn't matter. Those videos get more engagement because of the empathy that people have for it.
Okay, that's a good point. And thank you. Now I don't feel the pressure to do my hair or my makeup. I
That's good.
appreciate that.
People can relate to you. That's all
Yeah.
you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
People will you've seen it. Some of the videos that are adorable, or where somebody makes a mistake, right? Those are real. And that pulls at people's hearts and they can understand that, right? They can relate to that. That's what you're looking for, is someone to relate to you, and just you being honest and talking and telling your story about your brand is the best thing that you could do. Now, don't get
Now,
me wrong. Progress is great. If you make progress, that's perfect. If you get a better microphone, if you get better prepared, all of that's great. But keep your same heart and your openness in terms of who you're talking to and how you're talking to them.
that's great advice. And so, keeping in mind, my audience is parents who want to build a business from home so they can be a present parent, be that hands on parent, but they still have to be financially sound. So, like for me, my daughters are 21 and 23 years old now, but I was always able to be that stay at home, hands on parent. But through network marketing, I was able to financially provide for them and then now put them through college and all the rest of it. But so that's our audience. What, uh, what is the importance of them building their own brand? Keeping in mind they're with a network marketing company usually, or at least an affiliate of a product or a service or something that's they don't own that company. So what do you think the importance is of them branding themselves, especially through video?
Yes. Well, I think it's absolutely critical, and not just it crosses verticals in different industries. Whether it's network marketing, a home-based business, your network marketing business, or if you're, we have clients in real estate, right, as well, or the automotive business, or any type of business per se. Building your personal brand is absolutely important, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But just backing up, remember, we're not talking about investing a lot of time in your video. Maybe one video a week is good. You think about it, after there's 52 weeks in a year, after a year, if you have 52 videos, you're going to be way ahead of most people that have a home-based business.
And how long should those videos be,
They
real
should be
quick?
short, sweet, less than 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Those are the short videos. Now, not to say you can do short videos to push and encourage people to possibly raise their hand and go listen to a webinar that the company has done, or a webinar that you did, or a webinar that somebody did in your upline, right? So you could do short videos around that to encourage people to go watch that. Just like a movie premiere, when a movie comes out, right? Like Mission Impossible, they run ads, short ads to encourage you to go see it. It's the same thing. It's nothing new. Little videos to promote something longer, right? To get to whet their appetite a little bit, right? To talk about some key factors. So you asked the question. Let me get to the question now in terms of your question that you asked me. So building your personal brand is critical, right? I mean, I realized I'll go back to when I learned to sell when I was in the car business. I did everything you possibly can do in the car business, from selling cars to being a desk manager to being an internet manager to being a finance manager. I was never a GM. But in all of those roles, I always had my own website with the cars that I wanted on there. I did personal branding. At the time, my website, it's no longer there, but when I was in the car business, it was biged.com. And I would have people go there. Everything I did was that. Matter of fact, there were times that the general manager would come to me and said, Ed, this is becoming the Big Ed dealership. I love what you're doing, right? It's not Longo Toyota of Prosper. It's the Big Ed dealership, because people would come in asking for Big Ed, right? So the question, and then same thing with network marketing business. It's important to build your brand because, let's just face it, it's honest. Other people fail us at times, right? So I want to protect myself and my family. So I'm going to build my brand around that, because I can move my Big Ed to any dealership I wanted to, right? That's my brand. I've invested time into developing that brand in the car business when I was in the business. So if you're in a network marketing business, the same thing applies. There's a lot of things that are important in network marketing, and Samantha can tell you that. It's, you got prospecting, you got follow up, you got a lot of different things that you could train on and build your brand on, right? Not just those products and services. People are looking for a good a good home and a good support system. So if you provide that ecosystem and that field, I like to go back to the movie The Field of Dreams, right? Build the field and they will come, right? So your personal brand is that field. Don't rely upon someone else to build that field. If you could build a field and a support and ecosystem for people that you want to work with, and that's the great thing about having your home-based business, you don't have to work with everybody. You can work with who you want to work with. And you can really do well if you develop a good ecosystem and a support system for them. That's what people are looking for. They're looking for that community that they can join so they can socially interact as well as get support and encouragement, much like what Samantha's doing, right? That building your personal brand is paramount. And it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money to do it either. I mean, you got a phone, you can start recording videos. You have all kinds of resources. You can reach out to us. We'll tell you, you can build a website for free. There's different resources you can use. You don't have to start off with a big budget, but you could start. That's the point. Remember, progress, not perfection.
Yeah, like Amy Porterfield says, done is better than perfect. Yeah, done is better than perfect.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
You'll have time to master that, right?
Mhm.
And that's the great thing about it. You have time. You don't start off on the baseball field or playing volleyball as an expert. You start off by practicing and becoming that expert, right?
Yeah, we learn by doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the good news is we don't have to be perfect. So, I mean, it's a whole new industry now with everyone having a camera right in their right in their hand, right in their pocket, right in their purse, and you can whip it out at any time. One other quick question, and then I want to get into your 7 secrets. So they do these short videos, and even they do one a week, one a day, whatever their schedule allows. Uh, where do they post these videos?
Great question. So, obviously, video lives on just about any social platform that you have access to, from TikTok to Instagram to Facebook to LinkedIn to YouTube. They're just about everywhere. So, we particularly help our clients, put them just about everywhere you possibly can. You want to get engagement from them, and that's critical. There are probably several other hundreds of different places you can put them. These are more like directories, but that takes a little bit more time. But the most popular ones are the social platforms, right? Just placing them there. They all have different formats. I mean, you could use Canva to resize videos really easily, and it's a free, or you could buy the Pro, which is like $12 a month, or you could use the free one. You could resize your videos really easy. It's almost just like dragging and dropping and to fit them for different platforms.
All right, that's great advice. Now, so you post your videos up on all the different platforms. Is there anything in particular, any type of, I don't know, trick or something to gain more engagement? Because we've all posted things and we've gotten crickets,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is there anything in particular, just one thing that you could say, you know what, do this, and it could help boost your engagement?
Let's talk about follow up, right? So having a prop, and we're going to talk about this in the 7 secrets that we're going to talk about, but having a prop, something like a whiteboard that you can buy at Walmart, right? If you're going to send a follow up video to somebody, you may want to have like Samantha, great to connect. I use something like this on LinkedIn a lot. When somebody connects with me, I'll do a video and I may say John or Samantha, whoever it is, great to connect. Or I may say, congratulations on your job. And I may say, congratulations on that whiteboard. A whiteboard like that can cost you $5, $7 at Walmart. And you get a little dry eraser, and you just, you just erase it and change it when you want to. Starting off a video like that is great because you're going to have a direct connection. That's in sending a direct video to somebody, right? Or even perhaps writing something on there that is about your topic that you're going to talk about that day. Any kind of prop in the beginning is going to get people engaged. You look at any big company, Fortune 500 company, they use props all the time. And it's great to use props now, especially with Halloween and the holiday season coming. There's a lot of props that you could use to get people's attention, right? So just think a little bit, and the better the prop, the better engagement, especially in that first 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, I
That's one.
love your little whiteboard idea, and that prompted me because we teach the ATM method, add tag message,
Mhm.
and and your message, your private messaging people with the follow up with your support team, and sometimes you know that person well, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's just someone that came to you, and it could be someone totally cold. You don't know, but having that little whiteboard kind of helps bridge that gap and helps kind of build that relationship, especially with a video. I tell people to mix it up, type a message, but then also leave an audio message so they can hear you and hear your inflections and your excitement and your, enthusiasm, and kind of get to know you a little bit. It's kind of hard to get someone's personality just through text, just through, letters. And, but a video, especially with a prop like that, that's geared toward them, will take it, that much further. Because sometimes, and this, that you get ghosted, right? We all do. It doesn't matter who we are. It doesn't matter how long we've been in the industry and how successful we are. We send a message and we're following up with someone, and crickets. You just don't
Mhm.
hear from them again. But with something like that, it was really, really spark their attention. And it shows that you care. You're going that little extra, you're doing that little extra bit. And
That's
great
right.
advice. Great
That's right.
advice.
Yeah.
Well, Ed, I think we should get into your 7 secrets of video marketing that help people drive sales for themselves, if they're with a company, and you help, these 7 secrets help drive the sales and the profit. So you don't have to go through them all. I know, and guys, here's a free gift for you. In the show notes, there's going to be a link where you can actually download the PDF that has all of these. So Ed is so generous to give that to us for free for all the single parent superpower listeners. So thank you, Ed, for that. But I would love for you to do a 32,000 foot overview of what these 7 steps are.
Sure. Absolutely. Sure.
7 secrets, I should say.
Yes, absolutely. So the first, most important is to kind of lay a groundwork to any type of video. If you're doing a brand video or a promotional video and you want to get some interaction with it, I will say that there is one key factor. Obviously, we went over the prop. That's very important in the front. You want to get their attention somehow very quickly. Then you want to get to your thesis very fast. Your thesis is very critical. Now, let me tell you the next point, and you want to give a summary of your thesis. People want to know what you're talking about quickly, right? So get to the truth quickly on that. That's the first secret, right? Having a prop. Then get to the pain point. Now, when I say pain point, here's what I'm talking about. If you were to draw a line left to right, and on the left side, you're going to see this in the PDF. In the left side, you have a sad face, that basically a boring face that says, "So what?" And on the other side, you have a smiley face saying, "I'm dying to have it." This is what's called the emotional scale in terms of the pain point that you're addressing in your video. From "so what" to "I'm dying to have it." You have to be somewhere around over here somewhere in what you're addressing, right? For example, let's take Samantha's podcast. She addresses a pain point for single parents and single parents. She wants to give them a superpower, right, with her podcast. That's what we're talking about here. So she addresses a lot of pain points in having a home-based business. So let's talk about what could be a good pain point for a video that Samantha does, right? It could be something as simple as, um, she has a podcast that if you haven't listened to it on follow up, how, a high percentage of people that are in the business or in sales don't do a lot of follow up. What, less than one, right? I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So how you want to improve sales? If sales are down, it's probably because you're not following up, right? And if you're not following up, your sales funnel is empty. So follow up is critical. So she addresses that pain point, right? Because inherently, most of us have some type of lazy streak in us. I mean, for some reason, but we have to push ourselves. We have to be a little bit more aggressive and always try to improve. So that pain point is pretty high, right? You know what? I want to know how to follow up better. I need to be better at that. They used to always tell us in the car business, the money's in the follow-up, right? And it is. There was times I would call people 3, 5, 6 times. And on the seventh time I've called them because they showed interest in a car, they'd come. 30 days later, they'd come and people were like, how'd you get this guy in? He was a lead 30 days ago and he came in because I followed up with him, right? That's the key. So the pain point, addressing that pain point is what we talk about. That's important to have in your video right up front. And then you need to provide a solution, a good solution. You need to relieve the guilt from them that it's okay. You didn't know about the Superpower, Super Parent podcast, right? You didn't know about Sam's podcast. It's okay. You got to relieve that guilt from them, provide a good solution, and then you need to give them a good offer. Provide them a good offer to engage with you, to book an appointment, or to download an ebook, or download 5 steps or 7 secrets, right? Exactly what we're doing here, right? Same thing. We follow the process. So that's just kind of a highlight of it. And your call to action, you really want to think about that a little bit. You got to have a strong one. And I can tell you with the holiday season coming, no doubt some of the products and services that your companies have, they probably have great offers. BOGO offers, buy one, get one free, special discounts. Use that in your videos, right? Or if you want to invest in your business, give them a free resource when they buy or something of value when they buy, right? So you got to have some type of strong offer. And then you definitely want to always ask them with a call to action on the back end to book time with you, to buy from you, to come to an event or go to a webinar. Always put your website or give them your website on the back end. So that's kind of a highlight overview, Sam, really kind of what it is. But the most important thing is that emotional scale, right? If you're in the so what category, you're not going to get a lot of engagement because there's tons of videos that are in that category. So you have to move the needle up a little bit on the emotional scale to try to get their attention quickly.
So address where they are, hit the pain point, and show them how you can get them over here.
That's right.
Okay. Take them on a quick journey. Yeah. In 3 minutes or so. And you can also repurpose these videos too. So you don't have to, keep doing new videos every single week. If you're doing 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos a week, just keep them and then repurpose them later on down the road. Right. Especially if it's a promo specific video that's only, then they'll say the promo is good for the month of November. Run it a few times in the month of November, because here's a fun fact, not so fun sometimes, but social media, you only 6% of your followers ever see your stuff on social media. So feel free to repost that stuff. Do it over and over and over again. And if some of the same people are seeing it over and over again, who cares? Because you're tapping in. You want to get another 6% and another 6%, a new 6% of eyeballs on it. So just because you post something one time, oh, well, that didn't work, I didn't get any engagement. Who cares? Repost it. Try it out a few different times and play around with different captions and hashtags and all the rest of it. And there's training on that on episode 5. So you can go check that out. But Ed, I just want to say thank you so much. And thank you so much for the free resource for our listeners. I'll make sure that the link is in the show notes. And congratulations on a VodCast HUB. It's an amazing platform, so simple to use. Guys, if you're looking for a platform to shoot quick videos and have them uploaded and easy to access, easy to produce, that's definitely the place to go. And vodcasthub.com, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So guys, go check it out. You're going to love it. But definitely, at the very least, download this free resource. Why wouldn't you want the 7 secrets of video marketing, especially in today's day and age when everyone is, on TikTok. My daughter, side note, my daughter said the other day, she said, my gosh, I was on my phone and I was on TikTok. And then next thing I know, I looked at the time, 2 hours went by. I'm like, 2 hours? 2 hours on TikTok?
Wow. Yeah. It's the most popular call to action button on the internet today. It is. And, you just got to start, just start. And you know what? I have another resource we could talk about later. Maybe you could send it to them as a follow-up, or you can make it as a resource. If you don't know what to talk about, I have I have a little ebook that has about 365 days of content, that motivational tips, quotes, resources, all in one PDF. You can start there. Motivation and inspirations, quotes are great videos to start with, right? So you could get people engaged. You may encourage somebody. They may like it. They may like you. And that's what the start of a relationship is. If they know you, they like you, they trust you, they're probably going to buy from you, right? So,
Wow, that would be amazing, Ed. That would be awesome. Yeah, I would love to include that link in the show notes.
yes, yes. So, if I can, I just want to just encourage, anybody that is in the home based business now. There's no greater trend in the marketplace. I'm telling you, with gas prices where they're at, with the economy, that's where we started with our business, working from home. We're no different than any other person. I started when I was single and with a simple Rode microphone, and just started taking action and building my brand, right? And I could tell you from just networking and, um, you know, doing what I'm doing, I don't do a lot of cold calling now. I get a lot of referrals, usually 2 to 3 referrals for clients every single week. And that's because of the work I've put in into continually branding myself, branding our company, branding myself, branding our company. It's like a repeat process and getting better with video, right? I didn't start off. Some of my first videos were horrible, Sam. I mean, they were just blurry and, you know, square, and it just they were bad, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think too, content, especially up on YouTube and things like that, people, they're going to search for you. And I know um, Russell um, Russell Brunson, he talks about when he first started, he put out content every single day. It didn't matter what it really was about. It was kind of more about his journey. And he put out every single day. He said, because eventually people will find you. Eventually they'll find you. It's kind of, he likens it to, and this actually happened to me, Game of Thrones. I didn't start that show until it was in the 5th season already. So they'd put out 4 seasons before I finally caught on, before enough friends told me I have to watch this show, and I binged it. And anyway,
Yes.
but so what he is saying is, just keep putting content out there and be of service, put valuable content out there. And yes, put your call to actions out there. Give some helpful tips. And in fact, on episode 6 is don't be a fool, use a tool. We cover all of that actually. So go check out that episode as well. But yeah, it's just keep putting content out there and don't delete content. I just want to put that out there too. We all have stuff out there that is um, subpar, let's say, but don't delete it.
No,
Just leave it out there
it's the
because
beginning of your story, right?
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I
Well,
have some
Ed,
videos that I show that the beginning of my story, you would absolutely laugh at them, but that's okay. You know what? That evokes an emotion, right?
yeah,
Can I add one little key thing,
of
a
course,
little
of course.
nugget? That emotional scale from dying to have to what we talked about, right? That
Mhm.
emotional scale, you got to choose what emotion you want to inflict
Mm.
on your listener, whether it's happy, laughing, sad, scared. Well, it doesn't matter. You got to evoke some emotion very high, right? So, for example, I'll give you an example of one of my commercials that I run, right? I started off like this. I say, Fridays come, and as an entrepreneur or founder, you have done nothing for your social media. You've done nothing for your video marketing because everything else got in the way.
Mhm.
Got in the way of you thinking with clarity, got in the way of you thinking about content. You didn't have the time to do it. Don't worry. You didn't know about VodCast HUB. We'll make it easy for you. So you don't have to think about the content. Our team will develop the content for you, the hashtags for you, the videos for you. All you have to do is approve them with a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning, right? See what I mean? You provide a
Yep,
solution. You take them
perfect.
through that emotion, right? You want to take them through an emotion And when I do that on networking events, some people, oh, thanks, Ed, you really made me feel bad, because they're not doing it right. So you want to evoke that emotion somehow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And that is actually a very real scenario.
It is. It's very real. Trust me, it was real for me too. Even as a founder of the company, I say, I just don't. Everything got in the way: accounting, finance, training team members. Oh, I got to do this social post, and then the Fridays come, and it's like, oh my god, we haven't had time to think about what we need to put together and branding and personal branding. So eventually, I told my team we need to have a team of people that can put that content together for us, send it to us. We could look at it. We'll give them some direction. I had to do it for ourselves, for our own company, right? Because I was getting inundated as an entrepreneur working from home. Right, I didn't have the time to think about good quality content. Right.
Yeah, well, in our audience with single parents, I mean, you never know what each day is going to bring.
That's
You
right.
don't know if your child's going to go to the nurse's office and you have to go pick them up because they're sick. And next thing you know, you haven't posted anything. And in fact, there's an episode that I covered where to post, what to post to maximize your success with social media. I'll put the link to all these episodes that I'm mentioning in the show notes, you guys. Don't worry about it. But it talks about their post 15 times a week, 10 times for one type of post, and then 4 times, and then they break down the 3 posts certain type of posts, and then 2 posts certain type of posts. But I talk about batching it all because life gets in the way. And if you have a service like yours that does it all for us, then that's even better. So guys, check out VodCast HUB. It's an amazing service. It's more than just video, and you're absolutely going to love it. Get your 7 secrets of video marketing. And Ed, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. If I could help anybody, give them free coaching, advice, anything like that, you could just have them reach out to me. I'm a teacher at heart. Remember that. So I'm always here to help, entrepreneurs that are looking to build their personal brand, especially single parents, single moms. I was there. I've been in your shoes. I've been at my low parts in life and trying to, come out of the ashes. And that's kind of what we try to help people with, really. So it's my pleasure to be here, and always great to see you, Sam.
Thank you so much, Ed. I appreciate you so much.
Yes.